Stunning knockouts.
Oh!
Crafty submissions.
Remember the name!
And a pile of 17 bodies left behind.
Shavkat Rakhmonov still undefeated, all of his wins.
The undefeated Shavkat Rakhmonov bulldozed his way through the UFC rankings, and now he's a fight away from a shot at the welterweight belt. With 8 knockouts,
Spin kicks,
9 submissions,
there's the tap, wow.
And no judge's scores ever required, this Kazakh prospect earned his reputation as the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC today.
Won the fight on the feet, and when the fight went to the ground, he got the submission.
Holding a perfect professional record with no opponent surviving the onslaught to tell the story of the final bell, the Nomad is about to face arguably the toughest challenge of his career, the striking virtuoso Stephen Thompson.
Next, dare I ask for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson?
Title belt, baby! Title belt!
It's time to recall the 5 times Shavkat Rakhmonov broke his opponent's heads like he broke Laura Sanko's heart.
That man gives me chills.
5. The uncharted waters of the big league. By June 2019, Shavkat Rakhmonov comfortably dismantled the opposition on the local stage before he finally appeared on the UFC's radar.
Wow. Second quick finish tonight, and an impressive performance by Shavkat Rakhmonov.
His UFC debut was definitely not a walk-in-the-park fight for Shavkat, as he was welcomed to the organization by Alex Oliveira, a dangerous finisher and a UFC veteran with over 30 fights on his resume. It was Rakhmonov's right overhand that started the brawl, followed by a vicious knee meant to cook Oliveira's liver in Hannibal Lecter's style.
Oh, and a big knee to the body from Rakhmonov. A counter left from Cowboy.
The Nomad started unloading a heavy cargo of right uppercuts, and the Brazilian returned with fire. Alex reversed the position and got Shavkat in a clinch against the cage.
Fantastic job of avoiding that, and now he is the guy putting the pressure in.
And then he attempted a takedown, which turned out to be one of the worst decisions of his career. The Kazakh fighter took the bull by the horns, sunk the guillotine, and just like that, he cut off the oxygen supply.
Remember the name, Shavkat Rakhmonov, with a huge win in his debut.
The statement was made, and Shavkat put the welterweight division on notice that he's here to stay.
Rakhmonov.
4 versus Carlton Harris. On February 5th, 2022, Rakhmonov was matched against Carlton Harris, who held a solid record of 17-4 and was coming off 2 jaw-dropping finishes.
Nowhere to submit Christian Aguilera and stop Impa Kasanganov.
The Nomad was stalking his victim like Freddy Krueger, occasionally tagging him with kicks and punches. The first highlight moment arrived in the way of a spinning back kick to the liver, followed by a beautiful boxing combo that left the opponent wobbled.
Sensing the moment here.
This spinning technique was just an overture of what was about to come. Shavkat kept the momentum and executed a beautiful judo throw that would make even Karo Parisian jealous.
That's nice.
Rakhmonov right into top half.
Nice work.
And then, in the closing minute of the first round, Rakhmonov showed that he's been watching too many Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, delivering a spinning hook kick missile that hit the target cleanly.
Sends him down, wobbles him.
The Kazakh smelled blood and went for the kill, unloading heavy bombs before the referee jumped in to prevent Carlton from leaving the arena on a stretcher. This spectacular knockout marked Shavkat's first performance of the night bonus, and the Nomad was only getting started. 3 versus Michel Prazeres. A fight prior to the shocking spinning hook kick knockout, Rakhmonov was scheduled to face Michel Prazeres, a high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, with a notable victory against the former title challenger Gilbert Burns. This was only Shavkat's second UFC fight, and it seemed as if the UFC matchmakers were already throwing him to the wolves. However, they weren't aware that Rakhmonov is the kind of guy you throw to the wolves, and he returns leading the pack. The Brazilian knew where his strength was, so he went for a takedown in an attempt to bring this fight to his own realm. Nevertheless, taking down Shavkat turned out to be a high mountain to climb, and they proceeded with a battle in the clinch.
There, but good job by Prazeres getting close. Look at him locking his hands here.
The Nomad saw an opportunity and took it by performing a beautifully timed outside trip takedown. Shavkat knew that he fell straight into the lion's den and was very precautious, eventually getting the fight back on the feet.
Prazeres here, use your size to wear down your opponents.
Ooh, nice knees.
They kept playing a chess match at close range until the end of the round.
Close quarters, second round coming.
But the real action started in the second.
start in Cage Warriors.
Rakhmonov launched his nuclear spinning kick, which missed, but it was enough to discourage the opponent from keeping the fight standing. The Kazakh landed a knee, and Prazeres desperately sought refuge on the canvas. After defending the takedown, Shavkat launched more bombs on the opposition than the Allied forces in the Battle of Normandy. The Brazilian tried to escape that position but fell right into Shavkat's trap. The Kazakh adjusted himself and got a rear naked choke.
Wow, Shavkat Rakhmonov still undefeated,
giving the opponent the option to tap or nap. Michel Prazeres is not just any competitor. He's a second-degree BJJ black belt, and Shavkat beat him in his own game. If you like the video so far, don't be shy to knock out those like and subscribe buttons. 2 versus Neil Magny. In June of 2022, Shavkat Rakhmonov stepped up in competition to lock horns against a battle-tested vet.
Modelo. Magny plus 360 as the underdog. He's in the white.
Who currently holds the record for most wins in UFC welterweight history, Neil Magny. The Haitian sensation knows his way to victory and is renowned for his fighting style, which resembles a firmly attached leash on a prey. Rakhmonov, on the other hand, has been taken down before, and it appeared that Magny's style might cause him some problems.
Neil Magny still rolling on!
Instead of keeping the fight on the feet, the Nomad decided to play Russian roulette against a ground fighter and took the fight to the enemy's territory.
Advantage, but still, that has been negated almost instantly.
He worked the head and body diligently with heavy ground and pound shots.
You're all having babies lately, aren't you?
So many babies.
Brendan welcomed little Benjamin to the world.
And it looked like Neil didn't have an answer for those attacks.
Oh, nice.
A glimmer of hope shined for a moment when Magny attacked the legs.
Strikes from underneath, remember.
But submitting Shavkat via leg lock was the same as trying to break a steel with a glass hammer. The script in the second round did not differ much from the first, as the Kazakh took the fight to the canvas again and controlled the opponent for most of the round, while occasionally delivering bombs to the head.
Made a mistake, tried to reap the leg of Rakhmonov and allowed himself to be off balance, but not.
The American was desperate and tried to escape that position, exposing his neck in the process. Rakhmonov capitalized on the moment by sinking a deep guillotine, reminding everyone that his squeeze is as powerful as a boa constrictor's. Another flawless victory and another performance of the night bonus for the Nomad, who never experienced any real resistance. 1 versus Jeff Neal. Speaking of real resistance, the following year, Shavkat Rakhmonov was locked in the cage against a slugger who was eager to prove why there are levels to this game. Across the octagon was Jeff Neal, who was coming off 2 significant victories against Santiago Ponzinibbio and Vicente Luque. Jeff's nickname, Hands of Steel, was not something he asked for, but he earned it by effortlessly knocking the opposition out to the Shadow Realm. And when you lock 2 dangerous sluggers who want to stand and bang, delivering a fighting spectacle is inevitable. The American opened the slugfest with a high kick,
Accurate because you know, Jeff Neal.
followed by a boxing combo that clearly got Shavkat's attention. The Kazakh showed him how it is done by retaliating with the same technique that landed clean. In the closing minute of the round, the Nomad launched an assault, and all Jeff could do was to retreat.
Neal got stunned.
In the second, Shavkat just kept coming with brutal combos, and Neal tried to counter those attacks but always fell short.
Can't keep Shavkat off of it.
Oh, another knee to the body.
Overall, the second round was a one-sided pounding, and Rakhmonov was the one swinging the hammer.
And he slips the left hand by Neal, lands a right to the body, right uppercut, glances a right uppercut, elbow. Looked like he was going to set up. Let's take a look at this knee to the body by Rakhmonov.
The third round was highlighted with a vibe of Carlston Harris's fight when Shavkat threw a spinning heel kick that partially landed. Jeff returned with fire, and just like that, a merciless all-out war broke out. The Nomad realized he was no longer at the top of the food chain for the first time, but he weathered the storm and got the fight in a clinch position. Once he regained his composure, Shavkat unloaded the mother of all bombs that hurt the opponent badly.
Brutalization in the clinch!
The American had no option but to accept the brawl, and Rakhmonov was eager to seal the deal legally, raining down the punishment of punches and elbows. That sequence culminated with a beautiful standing rear naked choke that put Jeff to sleep early that night.
He did! 17 up! 17 down!
by beating all 5 opponents before the final bell leads to the question, what's next for Shavkat Rakhmonov? So far, Shavkat Rakhmonov has been running through the opposition like a tank over a car, earning 5 brutal finishes in his 5 UFC bouts. He's about to face a legend of the game, Stephen Thompson, and a victory against him would catapult Shavkat's name straight to the title picture. This matchup is particularly interesting due to the unorthodox style of Wonderboy. His wide, hopping karate stance with hands low contrasts with the more common wrestling or striking backgrounds of fighters. Described as hopping back and forth, his footwork akin to McGregor and Zhang Weili adds unpredictability to his striking. This distinctive stance enables Thompson to cover distances swiftly and launch rapid kicks. Praised for keeping opponents in his range while eluding theirs, he challenges the conventional wisdom of a defensive guard by keeping his hands unusually low. This low guard makes his punches and elbows harder to predict and better equips him to defend against takedowns.
Talent.
That's a wrap. That's like that. How good was that?
In adopting this unorthodox style, Thompson leverages his footwork and rapid movements to minimize the risk of clean headshots, setting him apart in the MMA landscape. However, he's now facing a different kind of animal, who's arguably the most well-rounded fighter that Thompson ever faced. In fights against high-level opponents like Neil Magny and Jeff Neal, Rakhmonov demonstrated his ground control and powerful strikes. Against Magny, a ground specialist, Rakhmonov opted to take the fight to the mat and dominated with heavy ground and pound, showcasing not only his striking but also his ability to nullify a ground threat. This strategic diversity could be a key element in his approach against Thompson, who is known for his elusive striking style. Moreover, in the victory over Michel Prazeres, Shavkat not only defended takedowns but also secured a rear naked choke against a formidable ground opponent. Against Thompson, this grappling ability could be instrumental in controlling the pace of the fight and mitigating Thompson's striking advantages. Rakhmonov's relentless pressure and knockout power, exemplified in his fights against Carlston Harris and Jeff Neal, suggests that he possesses the tools to capitalize on any lapse in Thompson's defense. Thompson's unorthodox style, while effective, might leave openings that Rakhmonov could exploit with his heavy hands and unpredictable striking. In essence, Shavkat Rakhmonov's path of destruction, marked by a combination of striking ferocity, grappling finesse, and adaptability, positions him as a serious threat to Stephen Thompson. If he can leverage his well-rounded skill set effectively, Rakhmonov stands a strong chance of adding Thompson's name to the list of fallen opponents, propelling himself into title contention in the UFC's welterweight division. And what do you guys think? Do you believe Shavkat Rakhmonov has what it takes to become a UFC champion? How do you think his fight against Wonderboy would go? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and for more videos like this, make sure to like and smash that subscribe button.